Good morning, everybody. This is Eureka John with Eureka Street Crypto Hub, broadcasting live from Canyon Lake, Texas. And I'm technically, I guess, on vacation, but I still wake up at the butt crack of dawn before anybody else. The little campsite park area is very quiet, and it is just me. And the family's asleep and everybody else is asleep, so here I am doing my show. Figured I'd do a quick little short one and just take a quick look at the market. And I wanted to talk a little bit about some stuff I was reading last night. Everybody else went to bed, and here I am still reading about the crypto market. Yeah. I just like it. What can I say? But anyway, let's take a quick look at CoinGecko and see here. Bitcoin is at $41,616.49. Ethereum is at $2,466.34. Binance is $333 even. Cardano $1.31. XRP 75 cents. The Doge 21 cents. Polkadot 1640. Uniswap 2131, Bitcoin Cash 543.62, Chainlink 2189, over that $20 mark, up 32.6%. Litecoin 143.66, Solana 34.21, Polygon $1.05. And let's see here, what else do I have of particular interest? Data Network 608, let's see here. I think that's all that's kind of of interest for me today. Axie Infinity 42.92. All right, I've been learning quite a bit more about this Metaverse and all that stuff. There's the whole thing going on. Let's see here, Facebook Metaverse. All you have to do is do a search for it, and you will find plenty of stuff on Facebook and the Metaverse. It looks like Mark Zuckerberg is really interested into going into this Metaverse. See, what is the Metaverse? New York Times is asking, how Zuckerberg thinks Facebook will profit by building a Metaverse. So let's go to like the biggest, just like most propaganda-driven media source that we can find here first, and just take a quick look at it. MSN, and see what they have to say about it real quick. Let me just double check. Okay, so Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg outlined some of his vision for the Metaverse on the company earnings call this week. Zuckerberg said it will take several years to build out the Metaverse experience. If Facebook is successful, it will make money from the sale of virtual goods in the Metaverse, along with advertising and other virtual experiences. And either the next evolution of the internet or the latest corporate buzzword to get investors excited over some of the nebulous innovation that may not even come to pass over the next decade. Either way, tech companies, primarily Facebook, are increasingly boosting the concept of the Metaverse, the classic sci-fi term for a virtual world where you can live, work, and play inside. If you've seen the movie Ready Player One, you have a pretty good idea of the Metaverse. And strap on a set of computerized glasses and you're transported into a digital universe where anything is possible. Now, I've talked a lot about some Metaverse stuff and the way NFTs are going. NFTs as art, sure, it's cool. It's not really my shtick, but it's enjoyable enough. And I create these little PO-apps and stuff like that. I'm not doing a PO-app today, by the way. Just heads up. So if you people actually listen to the show, and you will know this. And I'm not doing a PO-app again until next Tuesday. But anyway, I've been talking a lot about the Metaverse and with Metagame Hub DAO that I'm now a part of, and they are basically pooling tokenized virtual real estate pools. And a lot of this virtual real estate is now getting too expensive for people to really jump in and invest on. So what the Metagame Hub DAO is doing is they're tokenizing some of these pools, these real estate investment pools, and it's an interesting concept. And they're starting out on the sandbox, but they'll be jumping into several other metaverses like Decentraland, and who knows, maybe Somnium Space and Crypto Voxels. There's another one here called a Webaverse, and I played around with that last night. And they're comparing the Metaverse as a virtual Silk Road And basically, what the Metaverse is the new internet. You have all these virtual worlds. You have Sandbox, Decentraland, Somnium Space, Crypto Voxels, and there's a bunch more. I didn't even know about Sandbox till a month ago. Now here's this Webaverse, and I went in it last night, and it's just starting out and all that. But Webaverse is being built on a layer 2 solution, not Ethereum, and that's interesting because with it being built on a layer 2 solution, then things will go a lot faster, and I see a lot of that beginning to happen. And I talked briefly last episode about Immutable X, which is basically built using ZK rollups, and so things are going to be going faster and faster because Ethereum itself is not really a practical solution for something like the Metaverse when you have to have real-time gameplay. So anyway, the Metaverse is described as the successor to the internet, the sum of all virtual worlds. What's missing between the roadways? What's missing are the roadways between these virtual worlds to connect with each other. And here's a quote by whoever Dan KVR is: "Make computers talk to each other, we get an internet. Make virtual worlds talk to each other, we get a metaverse." So basically, what the metaverse is all these virtual worlds suddenly now being interoperable and interconnectable, no matter what blockchain they are on, and all these. This property between the virtual worlds, basically a supply chain is created back and forth between all these virtual worlds, so you can use the same character, the same skins, the same coins, the same artifacts, whatever. So they're kind of creating a modern ancient Silk world, and it's a really interesting concept. So I kind of wanted to explain really quickly how that would kind of be done under the hood. The difference between ERC-721 and ERC-1155 tokens is crucial to understand in this. So I went through various different articles. ERC-1155 is something used on the Engine platform, and or that can be found on the Engine platform. I'm sorry. And ERC-1155 differs from ERC-721. ERC-721 is the token standard for NFTs. So to back up a little bit, an ERC-20 token is the token that is built on top of the Ethereum blockchain in order to be able to create. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Okay, the rise of smart contracts allowed users to create special contracts which can act like currencies. So a lot of these got released, and consequently is booming hard to keep track of all these different standards of writing virtual currencies, smart contracts on the network. Hence came in the proposal of ERC-20 standards. This standardized how a token contract should look, resulting in the seamless integration of tokens in different protocols and crypto wallets. This eventually gave birth to some amazing solutions in the decentralized finance or DeFi space like Uniswap, Aave, and MakerDAO. Billions of dollars worth of cryptos are traded in the ERC-20 space. So what does the ERC-20 tokens represent? The ERC-20 is basically what we call fungible tokens. Fungibility means the ability of a good or asset to be readily exchanged for one another of like kind. So think of two $1 bills, right? Both notes are different, but their value is exactly the same. And I'll show you. If I have $2 bills, you'll understand. Oh wow, I'm rich, huh? I got two $10 bills. Look at that. These are the exact same. So this is kind of equate to an ERC-20 token. They are used to transact, and so they are fungible. One $10 bill is worth the same here as it is by somebody else who holds another $10 bill in Boise, Idaho, or something, whatever. So ERC-20, yes, they're fungible tokens. That's what fungibility is. It's kind of a gross sounding word, kind of like the word moist, It's fungible, it's moist. ERC-721 is what NFTs are made out of. So NFTs are, it's an entity. It's something. It's not just a dollar bill. It's not just a $10 bill. And ERC-20 can be anything which has its own value in artwork, a music album, an agreement contract, for instance, a lease. No two ERC-721 tokens are the same when it comes to value. ERC-721 are what's called non-fungible tokens. Think of two ERC-721 tokens representing 2 soccer players, or in America it'd be 2 baseball players, because people don't like soccer in America. Actually, I don't mind soccer, I guess, but yeah. First represents a high school student, and one representing some popular figure like Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, and now it's clear that the card representing Cristiano would be worth way more than the card of the high school student. Or in terms of baseball cards, you have, let's see, I'm trying to think of some modern. You have Jose Altuve card, which would be worth a lot more than some minor league card, from some rando, that plays for the Corpus Christi Hooks. Okay, so you see the difference. The valuation is not based, and it's different, even though it's the same type of token. But the big question is, which stops a lot of people from getting into NFT, is why even bother to buy a digital entity in the first place? The answer is pretty simple. Think of it like this: why does Mona Lisa cost so much and is considered to be so valuable? The answer is as simple as that. People consider it to be a valuable piece of art that adds value to its existence. The same as with NFTs. An NFT acts as proof of ownership over a piece of digital content or a digital asset. Okay, I did not fully subscribe into NFTs at all. I thought it was dumb, and it's just like, okay, whatever. And then I found out that you could bundle up stock portfolios or crypto portfolios, or put real estate in as an NFT, or put things like leasing contracts or anything like that as NFTs to certify it on the blockchain. I was like, okay, I see some value there. And then I got into NFTFY, where there's fractionalized NFTs, where you can break one NFT down to affordable little tidbits and pieces. I was like, okay, there's potentially some value there. But then I started creating these POAPs, this proof of attendance protocol badges, and it's certified as an NFT that you were there. And then I started talking to the ontology community head of community, Humpty Calderon, and he said, he used the analogy of school transcripts or graduation papers, your graduation certificate, and that can be given to you in an NFT form and put on the blockchain, and you can have that in your possession wherever you go, in your wallet, to be able to show and certify that you have indeed graduated. Or if the school needs transcripts, you don't have to go mail in a check and dig around and try to find transcripts from all these community colleges and stuff like that. All this can be done with NFTs as well. So it's not just about art. But when I created these POAP badges, and I saw the demand for people just like obsessively, compulsively wanting to collect all these POAP badges, it didn't matter these people don't care what I say. They want the damn POAP badge, and they want to add it to their collection, and they want every single number 1 through 9 that I have currently out right now, and they don't care. They want that, and there's an emotional aspect tied to it, just like the Mona Lisa. What they were saying here, why does the Mona Lisa cost so much and is considered so valuable? The answer is simple as that. People consider it to be a valuable piece of art that adds value to its existence. Just like my little damn POAPs that I make, people consider that as a valuable piece of art for some reason, I don't know, and it adds value to their existence because they want to collect them. And that's when it fully dawned on me, the power that these NFTs can have, because I was experiencing it first place. So anyway, you get to gaming, and yes, there's some valuable artifacts and things like that in gaming, and they're rare and all that, and those are fun to collect. But what about the daily utility tokens of things in the Metaverse that you will need, like money, like maybe food for your character, things like that. It's not necessarily unique and individual, because it's just kind of an everyday commodity item. Maybe bricks to build your houses, that will be needed. But it's also not like a transactional ERC-20 token. So an ERC-1155 token is kind of the combination of both. It's the best of both worlds. It allows you to create fungible, non-fungible, and semi-fungible tokens in one single standard. Both fungible and non-fungible tokens can be created using the same standard. So why ERC-1155? Take, for example, the Mona Lisa again. There's one Mona Lisa artwork which is worth millions of dollars, which can be represented by non-fungible ERC-1155. Now there can be several other copies of the artwork which can be sold as fungible ERC-1155. ERC-1155 gives accessibility, simplicity, and efficiency on the buyer side. Another example can be games. You can earn points and buy items using these points in a game. At the same time, you can exchange items too. The items can be represented by non-fungible ERC-1155, and points can be represented as fungible ERC-1155, or gold, or whatever you want to call those points. So that's one example. Okay, so let's go to another article over here. This Crypto Una, she writes a little more kind of an opinion piece on it. These days, Twitter is abuzz with a divide as wide as the Grand Canyon on whether one should mint an NFT on a contract nicknamed the Gold Standard, aka ERC-721, or a contract labeled Lazy Minting as ERC-1155. It seems nearly everyone has a strong opinion on this matter, so let's delve into what the difference is between the two and why it does not matter. It does or does not matter. So, she quotes Beanie. He says, ERC-721 is a non-fungible token by default and is and always will be the gold standard of a valuable collectible NFT. ERC-1155 was a dual-purpose fungible and non-fungible token. It was developed by Engine to tokenize things like common gaming skins and other commoditized items. So he goes here, the ERC-721 was the first standardized interlace for creating NFTs, the most widely used. It's immutable, transparent in ownership and security, hence it is non-fungible, a true NFT. It can't be divided and represents a single asset that is interchanged. It is great for creating and tracking unique NFTs, although transferable. Trying to transfer an entire collection with it can be slow and inefficient. So ERC-721, trying to use those in games as items and stuff like that, it will be slow and inefficient. The biggest issue with ERC-721 is that when gas fees are high, it can cost an artist a tidy sum, basically their ass, in Ethereum to mint an NFT. Therefore, when you need to mint NFTs in mass or in bulk, it doesn't make sense to use this contract. So here comes along ERC-1155. It's a unique token that supports non-fungible tokens. It's faster and more efficient to use in batch token transfers, like a bunch of gold or bricks or fish or whatever you want to use as a commodity in your game. Developed by Engine, it's called the Next Generation Multi-Token Standard. ERC-1155 can use a single contract to make various types of NFTs. Gas fees are cut by 90%, making it an affordable way for anyone to start minting on blockchain. The only real drawback is that NFT is harder to track in terms of ownership to save data stored on blockchain. ERC-1155 has specifications on the Ethereum logs that have less robust information. So the more information you put on the blockchain, the more it costs, and that's why a lot of the times it costs a lot more to do activity on things like synthetics or Aave, because the smart contracts are bulkier. And that's when the gas fees are high, it becomes almost unusable for the average person. But they both appear to be great contracts and are used for non-fungible tokens, so why the big debate? Is it a personal preference? Which one should a new artist choose? In a nutshell, it simply comes down to your use case for them. So while you may wonder what to do, there's no right or wrong answer. Some collectors will only choose to buy an NFT minted on ERC-721 and others will not have a preference about the issue. Your use case will usually determine which one is the best fit for minting your NFT. As an artist in the space, she mints on both. She says she understands newcomers being drawn to platforms using ERC-1155 as they are open, easy, and affordable. Many support their decisions if they choose this minting standard and believe their work should not be viewed as lesser than those who have been in this space longer to choose to mint only on ERC-721. So basically, artists would mint on ERC-721 to create their unique items, but if you need to create or trade a commodity or build a house on some kind of Metaverse land, then that's that. But with the popularity of the Metaverse growing, and with Facebook now going to be implementing the Metaverse, I can see people in the future doing meetings, general business meetings in the Metaverse. Think about it. If you are in a meeting and you are sitting there and you're in this 3D space, and you're at the table next to somebody else, it's almost as if you're there. And say, for instance, you are working on a project and you have 5 screens open and you have a 3D model of something open, and you have to bring your partner in you go into the metaverse, you meet your partner in the metaverse, you can show your partner all the screens and the models that you are working on in real life there in the metaverse, without them having to fly to you or drive to you or whatever, or vice versa. Or trying to share screens is real clunky and difficult in Zoom meetings. So this allows a way to be able to share a screen as if somebody were already in the same room with them. So there's a whole lot of possibilities with the metaverse besides just gaming and creating worlds. I mean, I can see in the future actual virtual meetings happening instead of just the paneled wall of people and boxes like on a Zoom call, like the Brady Bunch. No, it's going to progress beyond that. We're going to be in virtual meetings. We're going to be all in conference room. Then the people that couldn't make it to their virtual meeting, they will be on the wall, just like in the standard Zoom call. And yeah, it's really interesting stuff, you know, that they're talking about. Yeah, so let's see here. Yeah, this is another blog article called The Street Messengers that I read. And here they talk about all the differences of these metaverse missionaries. They talk about the metaverse street, and they talk about the Silk World and some of these items. Open source branding, and because no one company will own the metaverse, and Mark Zuckerberg also says that he doesn't want to control the metaverse. We'll see about that, depending on what your opinion on Mark Zuckerberg is. But there will be open source branding, and so let's see here. Proof of human work. So it's remarkable that Chinese silk fabric was such a popular product that it interconnected the ancient world together. Improving weaving techniques further spread this. Okay, so they're promoting their silk token here. All right, so hold on. I have to dig into Webaverse a little more about the silk token. Okay, but so let's see here. The street into a movement for freedom and prosperity across the metaverse, yada yada. As we build and cross the street, we'll meet different types of people with varying skill sets and cultural values that expose to our mission and values. From researching various DAO-related discords, we boiled down a set of classes that contribute value towards the mission of connecting the street. And these roles include, okay, now I've been getting into DAOs lately, and I know this is kind of a sidetrack from the metaverse, what I was talking about, but I believe that DAOs will be the ones controlling the metaverse now that I get down to it. Since nobody will own the metaverse, it will be kind of a DAO-owned and multi-DAO-owned type of entity. So within these DAOs, you kind of have to get in where you fit in, and DAOs need artists for drawing, modeling, producing music and performing, builders for programming, creating objects, creating spaces, scientists for writing lore, interacting with AI, meta ideas and planning, linkers for connecting and greeting people, making intros and helping out with production, and boosters for collecting cards, promoting and streaming. So there's going to be new types of jobs, and I thought this was kind of interesting graph here too. You have the audience, right here, focusing on one person. You have community. You have the settlers, focusing inward on their inside their own circle. You have the explorers that focus outward, outside of the circle. And then you have the town planners that are around trying to form the boundaries, basically. So yeah, I don't know. The job market will look different in the metaverse, and there will be a lot of passive income, yes. And I say that shareholders will become stakeholders, and we will, if we still own equity in items, we will be stakeholders in it to help keep the network together and built. And then we'll be also working with our labor within the metaverse. So it's going to be interesting to see, but my question is who's going to still maintain and build the infrastructure while all the people have their goggles on, just stuck in a chair all day? You have to kind of keep power going and things up and running in the real world. So is this going to create like a two-tiered society? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just raising a bunch of questions. I obviously don't have any answers. It's not what the point of this show is about. Oops, I didn't have that over there. This show is just about me exploring my crypto journey. Yes, that's the right word. And and just taking a look at a bunch of different stuff and just throwing the ideas out there, throwing a bunch of crap on the wall and seeing what sticks, you know. So I don't know. Either way, just some thoughts for today. And yeah, I wanted to keep my journey going on here. And hold on, I've got to add in the text. Episode 222. That's what today is. So alright, maybe I'll keep this going throughout the rest of the weekend, because I don't want to skip a beat. I want to keep this streak going every single morning since February 6th. And yeah, that be that. Yeah. Alright, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.